Greetings and welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst of Lists. Recognized as the finest in worst of list presentations by a variety of top 10 worst of adjudicating councils and societies. Featured in the upcoming September issue of Top 10 Worst of Quarterly is the finest exponent of Top 10 Worst lists in North America. I'm so proud and pleased to be able to be here once again for what it promises to be a truly enlightening and liberating experience with Top 10 Worst of. My name is Craven Moorhead, and I think that this top 10 list you're going to find very, as we say in the business, awesome. And a lot of people cast aspersions against Top 10 Worst of over seemingly driven objective of worst ofs, like it's some kind of negative thing. But even Sun Tzu will tell you to know thy enemy, keep your friends close, keep your friends closest. Friend of my enemy is a friend of. I forget how it goes. All right, but it's not a bad thing to see, point out what's wrong so that we know what to avoid, how to adjust within the scope of our lives and our powers and our strengths, and be able to rely upon those to avoid the pitfalls. And there are many pitfalls that they've placed in our way. Some of them are tiger traps. At the bottom of the pitfall is a whole bunch of spikes tipped with animal feces and what's that thing that they got with the thing? Katy Perry's signature perfume scent. And it's many life is tough. None of us get us out of here alive, as Jim Morrison. And he was right. Well, a couple of us get out of here alive, but not like in the way that, sort of we expect. We become transcendent into various different states of being, and while doing so, we get imprisoned in the phantom zone, where apparently people live forever in the phantom zone and never get old and never die and never get old, just like the movie Cocoon. I wonder if they got the idea for the Phantom Zone from Cocoon, or the idea for Cocoon from Phantom Zone. I think Phantom Zone has been around a lot longer than the movie Cocoon. Can anybody maybe mention that in the comments? See if they can work that out for you. Would it hurt you to pitch in? Somebody's trying to, rise the tides by lifting all the boats, or rising tide lifts all boats, lifting all boats by rising the tide. Today's top 10 worst of is something I believe you'll be able to use in your daily lives. For once, top 10 worst of is looking at not just out for you, but to do something that will provide some measure of relief and joy on a day-to-day basis for you. And it's top 10 worst all-time political jokes, part 2. We've actually, I think, done this before. I don't know if it ever made it to air or whatever it is, but this is part 2 in terms of the scripting. I don't like dust getting in my delicate technical objects, production equipment. Top 10 worst of political jokes. So anyway, just before we get into all that, just a brief introduction to myself. I'm pretty much a lifer in terms of the activism thing. I've tried for 30 years to be part of the catalyst for a peaceful revolution by empowering good people, making people too strong intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, physiognomically, and philosophically, to dominate by these evildoers that always seem to weasel their way into positions of power over the rest of us. And I'm not a partisan hack. I'm not looking to, at the end of the show, you're not going to see and I would like for you to sign up for the Green Party and show an address. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Just, whatever. You do your thing. You do you. I'm only here. I'm not saying that any of the opinions that you're going to hear are, the absolute objective truth or better than your opinions. What I'm saying is I'm putting them out there because they're evocative. And I want you to start thinking for yourself more. I want you to start fact-checking for yourself more. I'm not always going to be around to be able to provide you with top 10 worst of lists. In fact, sometimes I wonder whether I'll be able to make, finish out the week. And they're about to finish off the week. And it's ungodly. It's unseemly. It's vile. It's unclean. It's pernicious, pervasive, pornographic in nature. So I don't want you to have to suffer anymore. I think that it's long past time for us to claim our birthright as human beings and have it mean something instead of us just being victims and used and abused by these parasites that, just are relentlessly malevolent. Huh? Anybody? Anybody down? So anyway, here's just one final thing before we get on with today's list. In near record time, I might add, it's commercials. The people who are responsible, truly responsible for this, the people who are actually paying for it, in theory. From the producers of Close Encounters of the Third Kind comes the brand new movie sequel that's bound to be a compelling mind blower for each and every one of you. It's Gross Encounters of the Turd Kind. I just got finished reading an article, I swear to gods, that, I swear to Gaia. I just got finished reading an article, I swear to Gaia, that people are going to, concert festivals and stuff like that, like wearing diapers and having how do I put this that it won't get me completely, on lockdown here. They're going numbered BMs in their pantaloons so they won't lose their place in general admissions festival environment. So they'll be like, yeah, Lord, wow, what a great intense artist and individual creative impulse. Dedicated to the creative impulse. And you're there and you're and you're yeah, Lord. And you're yeah, there it is. And this is a real thing. And then also in the same article, they're talking about artists who will do that and wear diapers on stage so they can bend a fresh biscuit while they're doing their set and not have to interrupt their set. And I'm reading this stuff going I felt some sense of, comfort from it. I wasn't alone anymore. Well, anyway. It's Gross Encounters of the Turd Kind, and from the producers of Grumpy Old Men, it's Grumpy Old Cadavers. Burgess, Mathel, and Lemon get back together for one more round of abusive yet endearing antics as Grumpy Old Cadavers from the makers of Grumpy Old Men. And, new rodeos coming to town. Touring called First Rodeo, where the ad campaign is, it's not our first rodeo, it's First Rodeo. Long in the Tooth Rodeo that's been around for ages and ages. And Top 10 Worst Stuff is in part sponsored by Mountain Doofus, a delicious new soft drink now made with 98% sugar and caffeine. Guaranteed to turn you into a wired, babbling idiot for hours after the first sip. Now available in the convenient one-pack. Do the Doofus! Who Cheese, the cheese for sluts, now available in your local grocer's underwear drawer. Horton Here's a Hookah. Parents, are you tired of your kids being at a competitive disadvantage when it comes to life-altering drug habits and street sense? Not really, I'm sure, but you might perhaps, while all your absentee parents that you are friends with abandon their kids in front of the television or leave public education to fill their heads full of toxic vapor, you've made the mistake of trying to nurture them into being responsible and informed future citizens. Wrong. Oh, how wrong you are. Best to prepare them for life in the mix of the gigantic land of morons and robots that our country is being trained to become. Dumb them down, keep them from being noticed, and dampen their curiosity with the latest in the series of preteen drug use novellas from Dr. Zayas entitled Horton Hears a Hookah. In this tale, a stoner elephant named Horton can't get enough of pipe hits, bong loads, and mescaline and doing bumps of crystal meth. It's a non-stop rager of blitzed out indulgence that serves both as a cautionary tale about how messed up it is not to get high and step-by-step guide to getting your buzz on and tripping balls. This book doesn't just glorify drug use for your youngsters, it lays out a specific series of steps for them on how to score, how to cook up their drug of choice, and where to nab some extra bread to buy more stash when they run dry. Plus, each copy comes with a quarter ounce of the dank. Why, after just this one book, your parents will never have to worry again about your kids becoming a target for the thought police. That's because they'll never have a coherent thought again. It's Horton Hears a Hookah. Now available for digital download. And then finally, this one is bound to become a binge favorite for you mouth-breathing morons. It's How I Met Your Mothra from producers of How I Met Your Mother. It comes the first kaiju-centric sitcom, a tale of one human male of the species, retroactively reflecting on how they met Mothra and became romantically entangled through a series of, time-wasting excuses to have commercial product placement and mind-bendingly sadistic social engineering disguised as a sitcom. It's How I Met Your Mothra. Come on and get some. All right, so now we've finally done all that, and it's time for the meat and potatoes of the matter. It's Top 10 Worst All-Time Political Jokes, Part 2. The adventure begins. And, I just want to say that I have not, I can't remember. I put this together so long ago. I don't remember if this is an anthology of stuff I just found and kind of tweaked a little bit, or is the industry term says wrote it up the flagpole to see who saluted, or if it's stuff that I came up with. It's probably a little mishmash of whatever. But, entertaining, I think, and pretty good because, you can use these jokes as icebreakers when you go to your next clan meeting. All right, so number 10 of the top 10 worst all-time political jokes. How many politicians does it take to change a light bulb? Answer, 2. 1 to change it and 1 to have sex with a pig. Yes. Good one. That's of course, my immortal imitation of Steve Martin as Inspector Clouseau in the Steve Martin iteration of the Pink Panther series. Number 9 of the top 10 worst all-time political jokes, Part 2. How does a Republican say, I'm about to hurt you? Eat my shorts. All right, the correct answer, trust me. How does a Republican say I'm about to hurt you? The answer is trust me. Not a great one. That one needed to be workshopped a little bit more. Anyway, let's try another one before I give up on the whole goddamn episode. Number 8, what did the politician get on his SATs? Eat my shorts. All right, and the answer is drool. Also not funny, but a little bit of an improvement over number 9. So I'll just do one more, and if it sucks, I'll just breeze through them and just, that'll be it for this one. Top 10 worst all-time political jokes. Number 7, what do you call a tobacco executive buried up into his neck in feces? La, 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 eat my rod. Da, 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 zip. What do you call a tobacco executive buried up to his neck in feces? Not enough feces. I mean, that's not even a joke. That's just a truism. Number 6, what did the corrupt congressman order on election day? Squeeze my nips. What did the corrupt congressman order on election day? Oh, God. This is about to end. This is too bad. I'm just not even going to read the answer. Just forget about it. It's so bad. It's not even worth hearing. I abstained from delivering the answer. Hey, maybe I can come up with something good. What did the corrupt congressman order on election day? Well, the Trump regime says, armed guards to prevent people from voting. Yeah. Number 5, what is the definition of politics? Eat my rind. Pick up the balls and ups. All right, so what is the definition of politics? Poly means many, and ticks means blood-sucking parasites. Many blood-sucking parasites. I can see the guy who designed all this stuff gets going, yes, we will have many blood-sucking parasites, and I've been pulling the strings. Number 4. Should have breezed through this as fast as I can make it. The only way I can make it less painful is to get through it. And when you're going through hell, keep on going, right? Number 4. What's the hardest mythical creature to find? Shave my nuts. What's the hardest mythical creature to find? The answer is the honest, caring politician who listens and whom everyone will vote for. What? Ugh, puke. Putrescence. This must be answered with a finely tuned. Ugh, even the sound effect for that clunker was horrible. Yes, I agree. How did that one get through the quality control? People are going to think that this, pay no attention to detail. Paying attention to detail is the goddamn hallmark, preeminent hallmark of top 10 worst of lists. God damn it. Number 3, this one better be good. I swear to God, I will fire the entire staff right in front of you. I'll make them run laps down at the rec center until they can't eat their supper. Number 3, what's the difference between Thanksgiving Day and Election Day? This list sucks. On Thanksgiving, what's the difference between Thanksgiving Day and Election Day? On Thanksgiving, you get a turkey for a day, but on Election Day, you get a turkey for 4. Oh, is that bad? Oh, man. This is... Oh, I apologize sincerely. Exactly. I'm astounded at the stupidity of this list, and I'm going to take my name off of it. There's no way that... What was my enormous Wang? I think it... I'm scrubbing my... I'm leaving here. You can fill in the rest. All right, I'll finish it. By popular demand, I will finish the list. There's only 2 left. If it was number 9, I would have been Audi 5000. This is just unfair and awful. And I mean, I don't even know how to make up for it. Maybe I'll send you a refund check. Number 2, the top 10 Worst, and by worst I mean worst. All-time political jokes, part 2. What's the most unfair thing about American politics? This list stinks. What's the most unfair thing about American politics? We get 50 choices for Miss America, but only 2 for the President of America. What kind of... Jesus Christ! It just keeps getting worse and worse. So unentertaining. All right, I'm going to take my clothes off and parade around naked with panoramic view of the groin area. Let me get my fisheye lens and my magnifying glass. Bad. This is really, this is the worst list I've ever, this is like, I don't know if I was conscious when I was writing this goddamn thing. I like to do lists when I'm semi-conscious because it can get, that's one way to tap into the weird module of your brain without having to take the drugs and the poisons and the toxins. But this is just too much. All right, so finally, let's get it over with. The number 1 of the top 10 worst all-time political jokes, part Deux, the adventure begins, is, what's the difference between a politician and an onion? Do. It's better be good. Do, wank. What's the difference between a politician and an onion? Correct answer is, there are no tears when you chop up a politician. Too little, too late. A little better than the... Oh my God, so many of these sucked. I don't know what to tell you. I've just better end it. I'm too embarrassed to go any further or any extemporaneous rants and riffs to extend the pain. I just got better go. So anyway, thanks for tolerating this horrible list. Because the next time I'll try to make it better. Top 10 worst of list tomorrow. Top 10 worst things to narc on your friends about. Thanks for tolerating it. I apologize. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to use this as learning experience and be back even stronger than ever. Oh, and by the way, before I go, I got